Time session with Chairman Taylor presiding. Come to order. Be seated, please.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's called meeting. I'd like to begin this one with our invocation to be led by Mark Presley and then our pledge by David Nallner. So, Mr. Presley, if you could lead our invocation, please.
Bring us all together tonight. Pray that we make the right decisions and do what's best for the county. Just thank you for your many blessings you place upon us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Okay. Pledge, David.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask Madam Clerk if she could please call the roll. You will register this also on your device.
Thank you. Beverly Atwood. Tommy Belcher. Linda Bruce. Shane Burton.
Here.
Alan Carmen. Brian Crook. Will Dennis. Jerry Ford. Chris Gregory.
Here.
Jeff Gregory. Bubba Gregory. Landon Gully.
Present.
Judy Kerr. David Nallner.
Here.
Leslie Overman. Mark Presley.
Here.
Amber Russell. Lonnie Taylor.
Here.
David Thomas. Steve Whitaker. 17 present, 3 absent.
Thank you. So tonight's meeting was called solely for addressing the ordinances pertaining to fiscal year 2026 budget. No other business will be discussed this evening. So at this time, our counselor would like to speak to the commission.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to remind the body that there are certain rules as it relates to employees or spouses of employees. So what I'm going to do is just go over Tennessee Code Annotated 55112. And it states that no member of the county, a legislative body who is also an employee of the same county or whose spouse is an employee of the same county may vote on matters in which the member has a conflict of interest. The law provides that a conflict of interest is created when a member is voting on a matter which, if approved by the legislative body, would increase the pay or benefits of that member or the member's spouse. However, the law does not prohibit a member from voting on the budget, an appropriation resolution, or a tax rate resolution, or amendments thereto, unless the vote is on a specific amendment to the budget or a specific appropriation or a specific resolution in which the member has a conflict of interest. The key point here is the member must declare the conflict of interest prior to casting the member's vote. That's the key in and of itself. A member who abstains from voting for cause on any issue coming to the vote before the body, it is not counted for the purposes of determining a majority vote under that circumstance of when it's a conflict for cause. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, does anybody need to make the declaration? You could start. No county employees. Okay. Go ahead, Miss.
You want
Yes,
us to
that's-
declare
for
it
the
now?
record, for the record, that's what we're supposed to do. Do we get this time? If we do it once, it'll cover all the proceedings instead of doing it each and every time.
Because my spouse is an employee of Trousdale County, I have a conflict of interest in the matter about to be voted on by this body. However, I declare that my participation in discussion and my vote are guided solely by my conscience and my obligation to my constituents and to the citizens represented by this body.
Anybody else? Mr. Crook?
Because I am an employee of Trousdale County, I have a conflict of interest in the matter about to be voted on by this body. However, I declare that my participation in discussion and my vote are guided solely by my conscience, my obligation to my constituents, and to the citizens represented by this body.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Because I am and my spouse are employees of Trousdale County, I have a conflict of interest in the matter about to be voted on by this body. However, I declare that my participation in discussion and my vote are guided solely by my conscience and my obligations to my constituents and to citizens represented by this body.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Presley.
Because my spouse is an employee of Trousdale County, I have a conflict of interest in the matter about to be voted on by this body. However, I declare that my participation in discussion and my vote are guided solely by my conscience and my obligation to my constituents and to the citizens represented by this body.
Thank you. Anybody else? Commissioner Gully, please.
Because I am and my spouse is an employee of Trousdale County, I have a conflict of interest in the matter about to be voted on by this body. However, I declare that my participation in this discussion and my vote are guided solely by my conscience and my obligation to the constituents and the citizens represented by this body.
Thank you, sir. Bubba.
Because my spouse is, because my spouse is an employee of Trousdale County, I have a conflict of interest in the matter about to be voted on by this body. However, I declare that my participation in discussion and my vote are guided solely by my conscience and my obligation to my constituents and to the citizens represented by this body.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Okay, moving forward. Thank you. So to begin this ordinance 2020 or 326-2025 13 general service appropriations for. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Gregory, I didn't see you.
Do we have a sign-in period for any members of the public who want to speak to anything before us this evening?
It's not on your agenda tonight. It's a special call meeting, but there is a place, it looks like, for public comment at the end of the meeting.
So we will begin with ordinance 326-2025 13 general service appropriations for fiscal year 2026. This ordinance sets the expenditure line items for the fiscal year of 2026 of the General County Services Fund. Commissioner Gully, do you have anything you'd like to add to this before I entertain a motion? Yes, Chris.
Move to amend this item. There was a $64,000 increase placed in the school system to go toward coaching supplements. I would move to amend the budget to take half that amount and move it over into EMS for raises.
Does anybody else have anything? At this time, we'll entertain a motion from the body. It was a motion, I'm sorry. So we'll have a motion on Chris's amendment. Do we have a second? Amber? Amber seconds. Chris, can you please restate your motion so we can get it on the record?
Okay, my motion was to take half of the increase in the school from the property tax, which I believe that amount would be 32,000, and move that amount into EMS for salary increases.
Do we have a second? Is this a electronic vote? Okay. Is there any further discussion on this one? Yes, Mr. Gully.
Just one piece of discussion. The purpose for that was to cover, because the school board had asked for a coaching supplement increase, which had not been increased since prior to 2010 we were given. So the increase was $2,000 per coach is all we're talking about in that increase that the school board was trying to give to each coaching position. Our coaching positions are, the best word here would be, we'll just stay with this route of things, are well below any adjacent county in coaching supplements. And I think they deserve, for the time spent, the money that we put forth in this piece. I would encourage you to find that money somewhere else.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else have anything on this discussion? Okay, would you please cast your votes on your device, please? The results are 7 yes, 10 no, with 3 absent, so this did not carry. At this time, I would like to see if I could get a motion from the body to take it as is. Mr. Crook?
Yes, sir. I just want to just get this clear. So this is over increases. This has the increases added in it for the sheriff's department and all other county employees,
I was told yes.
except for EMS.
That was the direction that was given, yes.
So tonight we're fixing to vote for increases for everybody except EMS. I just hope everybody realizes that.
We have a motion and a second on this, so if you'll register your votes on your device, please. She's working on that, thank you. I opened it for discussion. I didn't see, I asked if he chimed in. If anybody else has anything, please go ahead. Before we vote. Amber?
I highly suggest that we go ahead and let EMS have their raises. We use them every single day. If anybody has a problem, if anybody is sick, hurt, we use them regardless of anything. And I think that they are way more than what their wages say right now.
Does anybody else have anything before this vote? Mr. Crook?
I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up with this. You know, our first responders deals with people at the worst moments of their life. These people do it willingly. They sacrifice time from home, their holidays, weekends, things that most people take for granted. These individuals go out and do the job. You know, I hope this is voted down and they're added to this because they deserve everything that we can give them.
Amber?
I would also like for people to recognize that many people have come into our county that they're not having to take care of. We're giving them more responsibility and the prison. I feel like they should get a raise with everybody else. They deserve it.
Thank you very much. Chris?
I would ask that we have an audio roll call on this one, in addition to the electronic. If members of this body want to vote for this and not give them a raise, they ought to be willing to say so with them here watching.
Yeah. Please record your votes on your device. That's the forum, of course. This is public record. It is made available. Mr. Ford.
I want to be sure I understand the motion.
The motion is, right now that we're looking at is the ordinance to set expenditure on line items for 2026 fiscal year for the county, the general services. This is 3/26/2025 general service appropriations. Yes, that's what we're voting on. Yes, to take as written. Moving forward. So if you could please record your, Linda? Yes.
Get it straight. So yes, you're for it going as is. No, you don't agree with the way it's set. Is that correct?
Yes, that's how it's being
Thank you.
forward.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Press the button. We're waiting for Ms. Rita to be prepared.
No, David's got something. I'm not seeing it come up. David, is your button not working?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
You're on.
but I didn't get it. The votes didn't come up.
Oh, okay. I thought you had another comment. No, it's the machine is getting ready to populate it.
Beverly Atwood,
Yes.
Tommy Belcher, Linda Bruce. I'm sorry. Shane Burton,
No.
Brian Crook,
No.
Will Dennis, Jerry Ford, Chris Gregory, Jeff Gregory, Bubba Gregory, Landon Gully,
Yes.
David Nallner,
No.
Leslie Overman,
Yes.
Mark Presley, Amber Russell, Lonnie Taylor,
No.
Steve Whitaker. 6 yes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 no, 3 absent.
If I could get Jeff Gregory, Tommy Belcher, and Jerry Ford to please record on your device, please. Thank you very much. Also, Linda and Tommy, if you could record your vote on your device, please. Results are 6 yes, 11 no. Moving forward. This is ordinance 3/27/2025 general services tax levy 2025. This ordinance sets the tax levy for the 2025, this is a typo. Had to get our ducks in a row, folks, sorry. If I understand this, any proposed amendments, we're going to open the floor for those at this time. for the two fiscal or the fiscal year 2026 appropriations for ordinance 2025 13 general services. I know we voted it down. We're asking at this point if there's any proposed amendments, and we need to vote on the amendments. And then we can send it back for a vote on that point. That's the whole premise of this. Mr. Gully, please.
It would seem that our biggest holdout must be EMS and the lack of a raise. As I stated last week, and I won't go any deeper into those pieces, there were some reasons behind that movement. I had originally looked at $1 when that got voted down the first time in our budget meetings for EMS. EMS has a lot of overtime. I'd like to propose, and I'll put this in amendment I'll put this in a motion that we put EMS at a $3,000 increase, which is the same as $1.50 for all of our employees. When I say 3,000 though, I don't care if we pay it out in one lump paycheck, but that it doesn't go as an hourly increase. It's each year, one lump, $3,000 here on out. It's not a bonus. It's a pay piece. As we go into this, overtime is what continues to rack up in EMS. And I understand they work a 24-hour. We're getting about 1,200 hours average of overtime a year in that department, which is a large amount of overtime. I think we saw where Sumner County limits to 850 is the maximum number of overtime hours they're allowed. I would propose in this that we give a $3,000 to EMS and keep everything else the same. That'll cost 1 penny.
Is there any other discussion? Do we have a second on that? I have a second from Commissioner Ford. Is there any further discussion on this one? Commissioner Gregory?
I'm certainly for giving them a raise, but I'd like to know how we're paying for it. Are we going to add another cent to the tax levy?
We'll have to.
Going to have to. He just explained that it was going to be another 1 cent on the tax levy. The vote is up. Please register on your devices. Chris?
Just to clarify, this is only for the amendment, not for the overall
This
tax.
is for the amendment, then we'll send it back.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The results are 12 yes, 5 no, 3 absent. Now we take it back forward. So the amendment carries. So now we're going to send it forward with the amendment to ordinance 326/2025 with the $3,000 bump amendment. Sorry, do I have a motion?
Move with the amendment.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Whitaker. Thank you. Chris,
Yeah, just want to ask, since it was voted down, should it not go back to committee and be amended there and then come back before this full body? I wonder how we can take it up again when we've already voted it down.
Mr. Gregory, you're here on a special called meeting for this purpose, all right? You've had a motion to an amendment, or the first ordinance was shot down, all right? Now you've got a request to amend it. The amendment was passed. Now you're asking to pass it with the amendment, all right? You don't have to send it back to committee to do that. What would be the basis for having to send that back to committee at this point? Because sending it back to committee at this point, after a special call meeting, that's what we're here for, to get this one way or another. If you send it back to committee, you're gonna go back, and it'll be that much more longer if you have a budget passed. You got the same committee members here tonight. And besides, the committee only makes the recommendations to this body. This is the legislative body that enacts the ordinances, not the committee.
any further discussion? So at this time, we'll bring it forward. Please register your votes on your device, please. Thank you. The results are 11 yes, 6 no, 3 absent. So this carries. Thank you. On the first reading. Thank you. Now we're going to move, yes, Mr. Gully.
I may have got ahead of you. Motion to amend the next ordinance to say $2.10.
We have a motion and a second. Leslie has a second on that, please. Leslie's already got the second. Thank you, sir. Do we have any discussion on this one? I'm sorry. Brian, I didn't see it again.
No,
Sorry.
that's fine. I just had
Your light is obscured by
Alright.
Mr. Whitaker.
I just had a quick question. What was it before this presented budget? Like, what was it for the last year?
Commissioner Gully? Do you have that? If not, that's.
$97.77.
Thank you, sir.
Is everybody clear on something?
One more time. Yeah, speak it out again.
If I remember correctly, it's 198.77.
So the amendment is from 198.77 to 210.
It was moved to from 193 to 198 a year ago for 5 cents due to the change in interest rates main hit.
Thank you for the clarification. Motion and a second on that. At this time, you can please register your votes on the device, please. Thank you. The results are 13 yes, 4 no, 3 absent. So this carries. Thank you. Mr. Gully.
I believe now we need to know that a motion to approve that ordinance at 2:10.
That's correct.
So I'll make that motion to approve ordinance 327, 2025, 14, general service tax levy 2025 with the amendment.
So everybody understands that? We're gonna vote on that now. Okay. So we will be voting on 328, 2025, 14 with the amendment. Please register this on your device. 327. Yes, it is. Sorry. Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Okay, now you'll register on your device. So the results on that one was the same, 13 yes, 4 no, 3 absent. Thank you very much. Now we'll be looking at ordinance 328, 2025, 15 urban services appropriation. This ordinance sets the urban services budget for the 2026 fiscal year. The full commission may vote on, it says the full commission may vote on this ordinance. Commissioner Bubba Gregory, do you have anything you'd like to add to this before we entertain a motion?
So recommended, what we got said here is, it's not a no increase from last year's. We good, and the Urban Service Council was good with it.
Is there any other discussion? Anybody have any questions for him? So what he's stating is that everything stays the same with urban services, no increase. There was in urban services? Appropriations, yes, I'm sorry, with the appropriations. That's true, correct. Motion to approve? Or, I'm sorry, I got a Amber Russell.
Can you clarify?
I don't know what it's doing.
Please stop pressing.
There we go.
Okay,
You're clear.
can you clarify what the other charges are here for 173,000?
Commissioner Gully. Yes, Chris.
I believe Amber's referring to in the urban services of 58,400 other charges. Am I correct in that's what you're referring to? Okay, just to clarify, I think what she was asking.
Thank you.
According to our budget packets, other charges, dues and memberships, evaluation and testing, legal notices, recording of court costs, maintenance and repair of service equipment, postal charges, rentals, electricity, fuel, oil, office supplies, other office supplies and material, liability insurance, trustees commission, workman's compensation insurance, liability claims, and there is one other charge. However, on that other charge here, there is no money allocated for that in this budget. That's the 58,400 you're asking for.
Thank you.
So I believe that might have been for general services, the urban services, it's electricity, it's other supplies for urban. There's liability insurance specifically for the urban services. There is a line item for traffic control equipment, which is the traffic signals both at Andrews and at Broadway. This information is also on the website and has been there for over a week.
Commissioner Gully.
Thank you, Miss Amy. I was in 101.
Is there any further discussion? Do we have a motion in a second? Leslie's the second on that one. Thank you. Sorry. We're getting ready to vote on the devices at this juncture. Just to clarify, with all the mud in the way, let's wash it off real quick. We are voting on ordinance 328-2025-15 urban services appropriations for fiscal year 2026 that has had the questions explained. Please register on your device. Thank you. The results are 15 yes, 2 no, 3 absent. This carries. Next, ordinance 329-2025-16 urban tax services levy. Tax levy is recommended at 0.6731 for urban services. This is not an increase. Only the members of the Urban Services Council may vote on this ordinance. Those members are Bubba Gregory, myself, and Mark Presley. Do I have a motion from the council? Mark's got the motion.
Tax levy is this.
And second from Bubba. Thank you. Is there any discussion amongst us? Moving forward. Here we go. Please register on your device, sir. Results are 3 yes. Thank you. So this does conclude the reading of the budget ordinances. This is the first reading of the budget ordinances. I appreciate the time and effort that's been put into these numbers. I understand everybody's nerves are frazzled, and everybody's tensions are high. I understand it. And I do appreciate that. We'll hold the next readings on the next readings will be at our regular stated, which is on July 28th at 7 p.m. Has anybody signed in for public comment? Mr. Gully.
Mr. Beller, can you clarify for me, is tonight's, I know we need a supermajority to vote on it twice in a night. Can that be done at the second reading or only at the first? Second reading. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Kerr, please go ahead.
I don't want to say anything until Mr. Gully's finished with. Oh, okay, okay.
He's done.
I'm
Thank
sure
you.
I didn't hear. Now, I'd just like to take a second on behalf of the school board and these hardworking coaches, stuff back here to thank the members of this committee that voted to give them the full amount of the money that the school board had asked for and the budget committee had passed. For way too long, county commissions have balanced budgets on the back of schools. And I'm glad to see that y'all had the guts to stop doing that tonight. And I just want you to know that we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Has anybody else signed in or want to speak? Yes, sir. Come on down. State your name and sign in, please.
My name's Kendrick Jones. I'm relatively new here. My coworkers are probably cringing right now. Got a little bit of a public speaking fright. I just wanted to say that I appreciate the opportunity that the county has been giving me. I just wanted to bring some insight for future votes, because this is obviously going to be a conversation in the future. I'm 30 years old. My goal is to make a career out of EMS. At some point, I'm going to want to buy a house, have a family, have kids. I'm making $15.88 an hour. I am going to use this opportunity you all gave me to further my career in the future. And I wanted to thank you for the opportunity, but remind you that some of us are literally living paycheck to paycheck. And if we want a future, one day we'll have to chase the money somewhere. And I can make a living this year, but when this comes back up in a year, we should understand that some of us will need to be chasing their future.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Is there anybody else that needs to speak this evening? Thank you all. At this time, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Got a first and a second. Landon and Jerry. We're adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Be careful going home, everyone.